they? I didn't know if it had to do more with
I think that, well, pretty extensive.
apparently.
Well, it being 7 o'clock or thereabouts, let's call this meeting to order. And hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
Can we do a roll call for the record?
Absolutely. Member Spiegel, Member Mott,
Present.
Member Monroe,
Present.
Member Ridley,
Present.
and Chairman Wenzel.
Sure. Present. Okay, the first or the next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from our telephone poll from March 1st, 2017, which are attached to the agenda we've got here. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as they were circulated?
Motion to approve the minutes as they were circulated.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All votes have been cast. Let the record show 3 ayes, 1 abstention, the abstention being Member Mott.
The next item on our agenda is our Citizens Forum. Sarah, if you'd like to share anything with us, we'll give you a few minutes. But if you're just here to observe, we can move on. Right. The next item on our agenda are the renewals for the liquor license renewals for Live and Let Live, Inc., doing business as the Paradox Lounge. It's a tavern liquor license at 3467 South Broadway. The current license, as issued, would expire April 15th, 2017. And the other renewal is for Qdoba Restaurant Corporation, doing business as Qdoba Mexican Grill, which I think further down changes to Qdoba Mexican Eats.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a hotel and restaurant license that expires April 22nd, 2017. So unless there are any comments on these individually, we can entertain a motion to approve them both and vote on them combined.
I would move to approve both renewals for Live and Let Live Incorporated and Qdoba Restaurant Corporation.
I second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand.
All votes have been cast. Let the record show 4 ayes.
The next item is our new manager registrations of changing from Jerry Sturm to Deborah Sturm of the South Restaurant, Peanut Barrel Incorporated, doing business as the South Restaurant at 3535 South Huron, and a change in the Qdoba Restaurant Corporation, doing business as Qdoba Mexican Eats at 5188 South Broadway, changing from Gene Cooper to Micah Hayes. And again, unless there are any individualized comments, I'll entertain a motion to approve both of them at the same time. Would someone like to move?
I move to approve the new manager registrations for Peanut Barrel Inc., DBA the South Restaurant and Qdoba Restaurant Corporation, DBA Qdoba Mexican Eats.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
All votes have been cast. Let the record show 4 ayes.
The next item is a corporate change for Dreams Inc. doing business as the Full House Bar at 4272 South Broadway. They're adding a corporate member, adding Holly DeHai at 24% ownership. And another corporate change, changing the trade name of Qdoba Mexican Grill to Qdoba Mexican Eats. Unless there are other comments, I'll entertain a motion to approve both of them combined.
I move to approve both corporation changes for Dreams Inc. doing business as the Full House Bar and Qdoba Restaurant Corporation doing business as Qdoba Mexican Grill.
I second.
All in favor, raise your hand.
All votes have been cast. Let the record show 4 ayes.
Okay. Our next agenda item is the conversion of 2 different current medical marijuana licensees, either a conversion to recreational or retail, or a combination or a combined use of both retail and recreational or retail. So, is there any discussion on any of these? Do you guys have any points that you'd like to bring up? I think it might be worth at least stating for the record maybe the history of what happened here. You know, we had a ban enacted by City Council, which was in effect for some time. I'm not sure how long, on retail marijuana. And in the middle of last year, a petition was filed for a city ordinance initiative petition asking whether the city of Englewood should ban recreational marijuana. And that the yes and no votes were a little bit confusing, but the ban, a no vote on the ban was a yes vote for recreational marijuana. But that being said, that passed, I think it was about 60-40. So the retail, so the citizens said that, no, there shouldn't be a ban on retail marijuana. And so pursuant to that, City Council enacted Ordinance 8 of this year, which outlined kind of the methods of licensure for a recreational marijuana or retail marijuana store, as well as the conversion procedures from a current medical licensee to a retail license. The qualifications for owning either type of store are lengthy statutory requirements that address mainly the character of the owners and their financial history and their criminal history, things like that. And on top of that, the city has enacted zoning provisions that dictate where a store can be, medical or recreational. So if I'm not wrong, I think within the city, just looking at a map, there can only be physically, I think, 4 stores, 4 or 5. And I think all 4 of those licenses are either up for application at our next hearing or are these 2. So I think that's kind of it. So that's kind of where we are. That being said, this authority doesn't really have a lot of, we don't have much to apply in the way of a standard pursuant to the Ordinance 8 that was passed last month or this month. And again, it was Council Bill 9, Ordinance number 8, for those interested. Our standard is basically a cause standard, which for some reason or another, actually looks back at it anticipates a current licensee, and it sounds like someone who hasn't complied with the terms of their license or doesn't fit the statutory requirement, in which case we would probably never even see the application because our awesome team of clerks would flag that, and Crystal would address that. So all that being said, we have 2 applications for conversion, and some, the zoning locations have been grandfathered in. So there's no zoning questions, there's no distance or setback questions, even though both of the stores actually do back up to residences. It's already been determined that these locations are approved, and they've been operating for, well, one of them has been operating for a few years, and the other has been, I think the medical license was granted in December 2014, and I don't believe they've been operating since then. I think they've just now converting to a recreational or a retail license. So, all that being said, we have our materials here in front of us. It's 250 pages of materials, and now I'll entertain any kind of discussion. Any discussion points anybody has on either of these applicants, but. Travis, have you got anything? Or?
Actually, I did read every single page, which took a little while. Other than looking at a few issues with legal suits in the background, those all were resolved. So once I saw that they were resolved, I kind of felt like everything was moving smoothly. There really wasn't anything that made me go, oh no, that doesn't sound good. The one of them having the right to purchase the property, I thought that was great. Anything I saw in there, I thought, well, okay. Everything, one leads to the next, and it's all flowing well.
Yeah, it's clearly stated in both leases from what I saw that they have. That's the purpose, the stated purpose for the leases. And so, thanks, Travis.
No questions.
Mark?
No, I also reviewed both applications extensively, and all appeared to be in order and according to standards. So don't really see there any reasons to deny the application.
Ryder?
Yeah, as you pointed out, we don't have a lot of discretion or authority. So, the paperwork seems to be in order. They seem to meet the requirements. So.
Well, that goes along with my sentiments also. I'll go ahead and, again, just for the record, everybody here knows this, but the grounds for which we would be able to deny an application like this is a good cause standard, and the good cause, as spelled out in Ordinance 8, is a violation or a failure to meet any of the statutory requirements that are spelled out in Article 43.4 of Title 12 of the State Code, or the rules promulgated by the state, or any kind of supplemental local law rules or regulations. We don't have too many of those supplemental rules or the zoning ones. Those are the big ones. And, we've already kind of stipulated those have been met. Another ground would be a failure to comply with any special terms or conditions which are placed on its license. And Jackie or Stephanie, can you confirm that there haven't been any violations of the terms of any of their licenses? We haven't heard anything from you guys. We trust that's true. And, the third reason would be that the licensed premises have been operated in a manner that adversely affects the public health, welfare, or the safety of the immediate neighborhood in which the establishment is located. Evidence to support a finding such as this may include a continuing pattern of offenses against the public peace, as defined in the city code, a continuing pattern of criminal conduct under state or local law directly related to or arising from the licensed premise. So I know that Nature's Kiss had a couple of complaints last year with regard to folks smoking behind the store in the alleyway there, and that abuts housing there. And it's maybe a quarter of a block or something from, is that Oxford there, I think? So I don't know if that constitutes a continuing pattern of offenses. I don't know that there were offenses against the public peace even once. So I just know that there were complaints. I haven't seen any or heard any police reports being filed, even plural or even singular. So on that note, I'll entertain a motion to approve the both licenses as they're stated on the agenda and included in our materials.
I'll make a motion to approve the new applications for retail marijuana stores for Nature's Kiss Cannabis Services Health and Wellness, doing business as Nature's Kiss at 4332 South Broadway, and for TDM LLC, doing business as Trees at 5005 South Federal Boulevard.
I second.
Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand.
All votes have been cast. Let the record show 4 ayes.
Okay, moving along merrily. Our next item on the agenda is Authority Member's Choice. Does anyone have anything they'd like to bring forward?
I just have a question. I know that City Council is considering moving to a hearing officer, and I just wanted sort of an update on
Yep. So we presented to City Council on 2 different occasions during study session in regards to the possibility of moving from a licensing authority to a hearing officer model. Many municipalities across the state are moving that direction, primarily because of the complex laws and the ever-changing laws in both liquor and marijuana. And so, we've studied it a lot and felt like it would be a good option for us. And so we presented, they wanted more information. We have a city council that really values the citizen commitment to the boards and commissions, and we certainly do as well. You are a very dedicated, diligent team for the licensing authority. But again, with this would allow administrative duties for the clerk to process. It would be a more efficient process for applicants, and hopefully, be better for everyone involved, in the business person and then everybody in between. So basically, after studying the issue on 2 different study session occasions, council did give consensus to bring it forward as an ordinance. And so at this point, we are in the process of looking at how that would, be drawn up and how that would look, and then it will be presented to City Council. So I will keep you posted as we go. Until then, it's business as usual for all of us, and we certainly can't stress enough what a great team this is, and just how we thank you for committing to your city. And we certainly would never be pushing to dissolve a board and commission if we didn't really feel like it was the right thing to do in the long run. So keep you posted.
Does that cover both the medical marijuana and the liquor licensing?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be a hearing officer for both.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else have anything? It may be worth noting that Ordinance 8, I think, changed the name of our authority to the Englewood Liquor, Retail, and Medical Marijuana Licensing Authority. So we got a few more words in there.
Oh my
and a comma. Next item is Council's Choice. Crystal, do you have anything?
Thank you.
Great. Clerk's Choice, Stephanie or Jackie?
We just want to remind you that on our next meeting is a physical meeting. We'll come together for a public hearing, and that's going to be on April 5th. So we will look forward to seeing you again.
Great. Likewise. Okay, if there's nothing further, do I need to move to adjourn?
I believe so. No, we just closed it. We're not a public hearing right now. I just wanted to say with the hearing coming up on the medical marijuana, that is more involved. And I can't remember what have that packet. Excuse me. I plan to prepare a memo and have it sent out with your packet with the other information. So if you have any specific questions that you know you have in regards to the medical marijuana, feel free to email me, and I'll include any answer in the memo for everyone.
Thank you. So when should we have our questions to you by? Just so you can have...
They usually send the packet out a week prior, so the Monday or the Tuesday will be fine.
Okay, the 29th or 30th.
Probably Monday, because I need to get it to them probably by Tuesday.
Great, okay. Thank you very much.
Is that the Monday before the Wednesday that you send out? Yeah. Okay.
Great. Okay, thanks everybody. If there's nothing further, I can just adjourn us, right? Great. We're hereby adjourned.
Wow. That was going to go a lot longer.
The other two medical stores, but I think they're